Have this feeling, haven't felt for so long. Took a hold on me and won't let go. I've been sleeping, caught me off my guard. Cause you're in my space and now I'm so pull me towards you and I cannot fight it. My head's underwater, I try to disguise it.
After finally getting to experience the Road to Hana, man, I just knew that I had to put a video together all about this incredible stretch of land. So let's start off with what the Road to Hana is all about. The Road to Hana is a 52-mile stretch of winding roads that go from the little town of Paia to the Kipahulu area of Haleakala National Park. The drive is famous for its amazing landscape views of Maui's coastline, countless waterfalls, gardens, parks, beaches, and so much more. Due to the 617 curves and 56 bridges that the road passes over, the drive really takes at least 3 hours from start to finish, one way. Remember, it's round trip, and that's just without stopping. But you're definitely going to want to stop, and you're going to want to stop a lot. Before getting started on the trip, let's make sure you've got everything you need. The first thing you need to do is to download the Road to Hana Maui Gypsy Guide app. It'll cost you $6.99, but it will make your trip 1,000 times better. Once you're ready to start driving, just open the app up, click Start Driving, and set your phone somewhere in the car so you can hear it. The app will just narrate the trip automatically based on your GPS.
This is where we're about to pass Honolulu Bay once again. The best views are from the other side of the bay. Okay, let me quickly recap the relationships at this important time.
The best part is that it works even when you don't have service. This app will make sure you skip the tourist traps and see only the best of the Road to Hana. I'm telling you, this is a must download for your trip, and I wish they were sponsoring this video. GoPro, Hana Tonic or Ginger Chews, you can find these at any gas station before hitting the road. Sunscreen, mosquito spray, cash, car charger. I got this one on Amazon for $16.99. Selfie stick, water shoes. I got these on Amazon for $29.99 and they worked perfect. Finally, I highly recommend renting a Jeep that lets you open up the top. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. Without further ado, here are my top 5 stops along the Road to Hana. These aren't ranked, they're just in order of what you'll see first, but make sure you see all 5. Garden of Eden, mile marker 10. The Garden of Eden is 26 acres of incredible colors, rare flowers, unique trees and plants found nowhere else and are even uncommon in Hawaii. The main attraction is the Kipahulu Rock Overlook, which shows off the rock made famous from that opening scene of Jurassic Park. That said, you'll also run into a 100-year-old mango tree and views of inaccessible waterfalls that makes this a must-stop. I'd recommend spending at least 45 minutes here, walking around the grounds and soaking up as much as you can. I mean, the admission cost is only $15, and that goes straight to making sure this arboretum stays in perfect shape year-round. Waiʻanapanapa State Park, mile marker 32. The Waiʻanapanapa State Park is probably the most popular stop on the Road to Hana, and for good reason. The black sand large beach, lava tubes, blowholes, sea stacks, stone arches, ancient temples, and walking trails makes this park a must stop. That said, everyone knows to stop at the Waiʻanapanapa State Park. So if you don't time it right, you will be at this park with thousands of other people. We'll talk about how to plan out your trip later, but it's extremely important to make sure you get to this park early. If you do, you'll have the Lava 2 Cape all to yourself, and the pictures and memories you'll have will be something you'll never forget. Most people say it's impossible to have Black Sand Beach all to yourself, but here's proof that it's totally possible. If you time it right, you can spend 90 minutes here without seeing anyone else. Red Sand Beach, mile marker 35. My personal second favorite stop on the road to Hana was the hidden Red Sand Beach. This beach is located in a beautiful hidden cove in the town of Hana. To get to the cove, you'll actually park at the dead end right next to the Hana Community Center. You can look at the grassy path to your left and see where you have to start walking. It'll be about a 10-minute walk to the cove, and it's definitely not the easiest walk. It gets very steep and slippery often, and I've heard many a tourist have been injured here. So just be careful if you decide to do this. Once you reach the cove, you'll be blown away by one of the world's few true red sand beaches. The cove is actually also kind of blocked from most of the water by this protective lava rock wall. How cool is that? Seriously, this should not be a place to just check off your list. I'd recommend bringing a couple towels, maybe some of your favorite beverages, and just sitting down and taking in the beauty and history of this place. There really is like a sacred feeling to this cove. So if you're gonna go, I'd recommend spending at least an hour just sitting and taking it all in. I love the time spent at this beach and will definitely never forget it. Just a quick note here, the mile markers go up to 35 until you hit Hana, and then the mile markers jump to 51 and will go down the rest of your trip. Confused me the first time around, so just a heads up. Wailua Falls, mile marker 45. Just a few miles down the road from Hana is the second best waterfall you'll run into along this entire journey, the Wailua Falls. This 85-foot waterfall is considered Maui's most photographed waterfall, and it's impossible to miss. This giant waterfall is right next to the road. I'd suggest walking the trail right down to the pool where the waterfall drops into and experience it all in its glory. It's typically much less crowded down by the pool, as most people just hang out by the road and take pictures of these falls. You really only need like 30 minutes here, but it's the perfect spot to take a swim and some amazing pictures. Kipahulu, Haleakala National Park, mile marker 42. Okay, last but definitely not least is my favorite stop on the road to Hana. Fittingly, it's going to be the very last stop on your trip too. It only costs $30 per vehicle to access this park. After parking, you'll want to go and see the Ohio Gulch, more famously known as the Seven Sacred Pools. Sometimes you'll actually be able to get down into the 7 pools, but when we were there, and I've heard most often, they're closed to access. The gulch starts at the waterfall and empties out into the ocean, and it is just incredible to see. A lot of people do this and then call it a day. Do not be one of those people. The main attraction to this stop is the PBY Trail. This is a 2-mile hike that you'll need an empty camera roll for. It's not a hard hike, but it's a long one. That said, you'll pass things your eyes will never see again. From amazing massive trees to views above waterfalls. You'll get to the bamboo forest and be amazed by the sound of bamboo banging against each other. Finally, after hours of walking, you'll end up at the grand prize of your whole trip, the 400-foot Wailua Falls. You'll get to a sign that recommends you don't pass, but as long as the waterfall isn't overpowering, I'd say just hop the fence and walk down to the path that gets you up close to the waterfall. That's what we did. You're not supposed to, so just have your own discretion. Once you've had enough of this trip, it's time to start your journey back. This is a stop you're going to want to spend a lot of time at, so plan accordingly. Honestly, I'd spend at least 4 hours at the Kipahulu Park. Any less and you just won't get the full effect of this place. You'll be talking about that PPY trail for the rest of your life. Okay, let's talk planning the trip. Here's how you can make or break your trip. Most people try to do the Road to Hana in one day. They'll start early at 7 a.m., be in the thick of constant crowds, and then blow off the PPY trail because they need to get back home before it gets too dark. Instead of doing that, plan the last 3 days of your trip around the Road to Hana. To do it, you'll need to stay in Hana for 2 nights. Yes, it's a small, quiet little town, but it's the perfect place for a breather on this trip and the heart of what makes the Road to Hana what it is. On day 3, just head straight to the airport. You can stop at a few more places that you may have skipped on the way, but this will be just a great way to take in all of Maui one last time before heading home. If you got a little time to kill, I'd recommend Mama's Fish House. I know everybody recommends it, but it's that good. Here's the house that we found on VRBO in Hana. It worked great for us. And there you have it. That's what to bring, where to stop, and how to plan out your trip on the Road to Hana. I hope this video will help out anyone planning to take this journey. If you have any other questions, please leave a comment and I'll answer all of them as best as I can. Enjoy the journey, my friends.